Greetings and salutations, Denzians of Solaris 7 and across the Inner Sphere. We're back after a bit of a break to enjoy the long weekend, but as all the little ankle biters are back in class, so we are back hard at work for you with tales of high adventure for your enjoyment. With only a few outstanding fights yet to be decided due to the said long weekend, the third batch of matches are in the bag, and the RNG gods have shown they are completely without any forgiveness or mercy. But I'll leave the tales of woe to my co-conspirators over on Uncivil Discourse. That being said, today I offer you an invitation to join me into the history and lore of the CBL on this episode of the KillBox. Hello, YouTube fans! This is your old buddy Jacque with a very special announcement. Thanks to a very special member of our community who has requested to remain anonymous, we have some extremely exciting news. This member painted and donated a lance for us to give away as a random prize to you, our subscribers. And let me tell you, these mechs are even more beautiful in hand than they are in the pictures. Painted in a Free Worlds League purple, this League-compliant lance includes a Phoenix Hawk, a Rifleman, a Warhammer, and the Immortal Atlas. Now you may be asking yourself, Jacque, how can I win such an amazing prize? Well, the answer is simple. Any new or current subscriber to the channel can comment on any of our videos with this spot in it to be entered for the draw. Now, because we are a growing little community with aspirations, or some would say delusions, of grandeur, we will post the mechs to the winner in Western Canada at no cost. If someone in Eastern Canada or outside of Canada wins the draw, we will be happy to cover the first $20 Canadian for the shipping costs, but ask the winner to cover the balance. We will get you a price quote for the total cost of shipping beforehand, and we can discuss if the winner wants to get the lance shipped to them or pass it on to another subscriber instead. Please keep this in mind when entering the draw. All you need to do, as I said before, is like or comment below. We will do the draw when we hit 150 subscribers. Yep, that's 150. Each video you like and comment will get you an entry to the draw. We'd like to say thank you all very much, and we look forward to hitting that next major milestone with you, the fans. The lore of the CBL is long and sordid, as most of the adventures of those on Solaris 7 who see the chance to make ungodly amounts of C-bills from feeding the primal desires of humanity to embrace the age-old enjoyment of gladiatorial combat. What started on ancient Terra in the Roman Empire evolved into the sports of the English and European and North American football leagues, or, in any reality, any form of entertainment that involves a stadium. Naturally, seemed to be the next incarnation once the Battlemech made its debut in the year 2439. Now, fast forward to the year 3059. The brainchild of businessman Stu Angevine, who saw a possibility in the 4v4 lance battle concept in the arenas rather than the standard 1v1 matches that were constant offering on the mainstream combats. He took a risk and opened up an application process for teams that represented the major factions from across the Inner Sphere to partake in a tournament to gain glory, coin, and some cleavage. Basing the league's main administration offices in the southern coastal hamlet of Calgary on the main continent of Greyland, the CBL was born. Lacking the facilities to host such events in the surrounding area, Stu looked to acquire the physical means to host such games in and around Solaris City proper. Joining forces with other stables in the SLIS, Solarian League of Independent Stables, the initial infrastructure was established and broadcasting rights were awarded, and the first ever season of the CBL was off. Running under the guiding hand of Mr. Angevine from 3059 to 3065, the CBL's 6 extremely successful seasons weathered many troubles and scandals throughout those ensuing years. From accusations of favoritism through the Solaris riots of 3062, the League's unique feel proved extremely popular with the fans of mech combat on Solaris 7 and across the Inner Sphere. It was also during this time the CBL championed many changes to the treatment of the Mechwarriors who fought in the contests, from welcoming the clans to enter their own teams, embracing smaller factions of the Inner Sphere and the expatriated clans who had made the Inner Sphere their home, in addition to featuring the showing of non-lethal combat in the use of paint rounds and powered-down energy weapons with computer-controlled damage outcomes, which itself was a major change in the destruction of the full-contact live ammunition spectacles that are presented in the open-class arenas of Solaris City proper. But as they say, all good things must end, and Mr. Angevine moved on from the League he built to other opportunities, leaving the lead in the capable hands of Lee Toms. And it was during this time that the iconic CBL trophy came into its existence. Mr. Toms was able to keep the league going for one more season, but once the 7th season championship was awarded in 3066, the league suspended operations due to continued issues stemming from the FedCom Civil War in its waning years, as well as clandestine interference from the Word of Blake, although the involvement of WOB has never been officially confirmed. Little was heard from the CBL until 3068-3069, when the logo of the league once again began to make appearances in the ads and media across Solaris 7. Even during the darkness of the Word of Blake occupation, it seemed there was a silver lining of normalcy on the planet. In the fall of 3069, the CBL burst back onto the scene with its 8th season under the guidance of a veteran stablemaster, Bruce Ford. Removing itself from Solaris City completely to focus its operations around the now bustling city of Calgary, a number of arenas and supporting infrastructure were built by a number of corporations, and Calgary became a destination for the continued enjoyment of Battlemech combat on the game world. Once again, there were reports that the Word of Blake attempted to stop the matches from happening, and a number of units were sortied to wipe Calgary from its location on the coast, but all forces that were sent mysteriously vanished before any objectives could be completed. There were even rumors that an entire Shadow Division of Mani Domini troops were dispatched and also seemingly vanished. But again, these are just rumors and conjecture that have not been confirmed, so I highly recommend taking them with a very large grain of salt. Keeping in the theme of multi-unit combat, the League, guided by the hand of Mr. Ford, set the stipulations of the matches to include up to 6 Battlemechs drawn from a full company in a match, as well as the inclusion of objective-based scoring. Another change to the style of the League was a return to live ammunition usage. And while this was extremely popular with the fans, it did result in a number of Mechwarrior deaths, in addition to quite a few of the teams being eliminated due to insolvency, from being unable to keep up with the constant repairs and replacement of destroyed units. Again, the League enjoyed success from 3069 to 3073, a total of 4 seasons, when due to health concerns, Mr. Ford had to step away from his leadership of the League, and operations were again temporarily suspended. Nothing was heard from the CBL's administration for some time, although the infrastructure was not permitted to fall into ruin, as the weapons development firm Strategic Technologies and Research Systems and its parent company Interstellar Concepts continue to maintain the arenas, stable facilities, and transportation hubs by offering them to other organizations to host their own events, for a percentage of the profits, of course. For the next 9 years, with the assistance of STARS and IC, the arenas were expanded, facilities upgraded, including a construction of a large starport. The city of Calgary grew even larger as one of the destinations for enjoyment of temperate weather, expansive beaches, and of course, arena combat. An additional large draw to the city of Calgary was the lack of overt criminal element that holds its sway in Solaris City. While the elements are still there, they seem to have made Calgary a neutral ground when it comes to their activities. This also may be due to the presence of an externally hired security force rather than a standing police department. In the early days of the year 3082, ads again started featuring the logo of the CBL showcasing a new season, which kicked off that fall. Looking over the many past seasons of what worked and what didn't, the League returned to its roots of lance-on-lance, non-lethal combat. Once again, under the guiding hand of a new primary administrator, Brett Sochowski, with Lee Toms to an experience of someone who had sat in the hot seat before. Another of the changes to the league was the institution of a tech cap. For this, the league's tech level was limited to pre-Fourth Succession War, with some allowed advanced tech and off-the-assembly line Battlemechs for the 3082-3083 season, and again, it proved to be exactly what the fans were looking for. Another amazing decision that the league admin made was to track my sorry ass down out in the periphery and convince me to come out of retirement and return to Solaris to keep you all abreast of the goings-on in the league with a purely unbiased opinion. Which, dear listeners, brings us up to date with the start of the 3083-3084 season. Our league continues to grow in combatants and popularity and shows no signs of slowing down.
Nope.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we close the book on this edition of the KillBox. Thank you for spending some of your day with me. As always, make sure you are subscribed to the CBL channel, stomp the like button, smash the notifications icon so you know when we put up some new stuff. May your beer be cold, your desires be hot, and your tobacco be fresh. That's a wrap.